For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics. For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
An official government ceremony is turned into a political campaign. Also coming up, Stevenson King says, and he explains why he has not joined the governing St. Lucia Labour Party. We're taking you back in time regarding a contribution conversation involving two politicians. And we have a whole lot more between now and 2 o'clock this afternoon on this, the most monitored talk show in the world, which is called NewsSpin. You're listening to the broadcast on the TuneIn app, as well as Radio Garden, Power 97.9 FM, the NewsSpin Facebook page, as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel. As always, like the video, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and click the notification bell as well to help the channel grow. In a bit, your calls at 45230 452-2979. 452-2979. Thinking of when I was hosting NewsSpin on another radio station, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026, 716-2026. And Amanda is already going through some of your comments in the chat room, and she'll be providing us with reports from time to time. There are times when you must praise a government and tell them, job well done, irrespective of their motives. So all non-established government employees who are daily paid or classified as wage earners will be given permanent employment after 2 years. And the process is to be completed by the 10th of this month. And also over 600 elder care workers under the St. Lucia Social Development Fund are officially made permanent employees. Previously worked for 11 months, sent on vacation, and then they start all over again, just to deny you that right of being a permanent government worker. But government sometimes well-meaning, and they take something and you know what they do? They degrade it. As was the case yesterday. It's all about protecting the victory. What was supposed to be a ceremony to ensure that those elderly care workers earn the right, have the capacity to go to a bank and to say, I'm permanent, and therefore consider me for a loan. That whole ceremony had to be politicized. And I'll play you a clip in its entirety. Somehow that ceremony cannot be found on Facebook or on YouTube for whatever reason, I don't know. But some wise individuals recorded a contribution of one of the people who spoke at that particular event. Quite emotional. She was not circumspect. It was all about the party. It was all about promoting the St. Lucia Labour Party at a government event, an event hosted, as I said earlier on, by the SSDF, St. Lucia Social Development Fund. You, the taxpayers of this country, you are the ones financing such government agencies. That particular ceremony yesterday, you, the taxpayer, funded it as well. And you will also facilitate, nothing wrong in that one, you will facilitate those over 600 elderly care workers becoming permanent government workers. And you will facilitate all non-established government employees who are daily paid and classified as wage earners becoming permanent employees after 2 years. This is what transpired at that ceremony yesterday, at least part of it.
When the election bell rings, when the election bell rings, rest assured, we will answer to that call. After we have done our morning rounds, ensured our clients are fed, bathed, and comfortable, we will make our way to the polling stations. Not alone, but with our families, our neighbors, our friends, and our scrub-wearing sisters. We will go proudly and purposefully. And when we get to that ballot paper, we will put an X by the star. And we will put that X to ensure, yes, we will put that X to ensure that you, Mr. Alan Shasney, never into office again. We will vote to protect the future.
So this is what transpired at an official ceremony, a government ceremony, hosted by the SSDF. I know for you hacks, SLP hacks, nothing wrong with that. But you individuals who are more sophisticated and who understand you cannot use state resources and state events to campaign for political parties, you would find this very shameful and very disgraceful as well. This can only be tolerated in a society where people allow themselves to be deluded, allow themselves to be misled, where people do not try to decipher for themselves, do not read for themselves, not to try to understand certain things. And also to take into consideration that you have to draw a line between what is partisan and what has to do with things that pertain to the state. And we should not have a situation where, as if it's a hall in some part of St. Lucia, where the St. Lucia Labour Party is hosting an event. It is an event of the government of St. Lucia. And this ought not to be tolerated. Let's hear from the independent candidate for Castries North, Marcellus Backsteed, taking issue with how the previous administration handled DSH, according to him, in secrecy, and how this administration is doing the same with GPH.
I want St. Lucians to understand something. The GPH deal and the DSH deal and all the other bad deals that have gone down in the history of our island is because of a lack of information. And not a lack of information because politicians don't know. A lack of information because we are not given this information before it's too late. We get it in little pieces. We got to know about the DSH deal in little pieces. We got to know about GPS in little pieces. When Stephenson King signed the deal for the 510 acres of land, we didn't even know about it. It is later the Labour Party and operatives of the Labour Party made it available. But we cannot continue that kind of politics and expect a different result. We are doing the same thing with both political parties and we're expecting a different result. And you know what that's madness. We need a serious piece of legislation that we already have. We have the Information Act. It was signed in 2009, but none of the political parties give it teeth. I pledge to the people of Castries North, I pledge to the people of St. Lucia, I will die on a sword for that. We will have an Information Act if you all elect me as an independent candidate. We will put a committee together on day one of ex-judges and ex-lawyers that have no political affiliation. We might even have to get them from overseas. And we'll have a communication specialist. And we'll invite a member of each political party to be on there. And any deal that goes down, any deal, we the people of St. Lucia will have to find out. No more of these deals going to be done in the dark. And then you hear we signing this and we signing that and we giving away our patrimony for nothing. That has to change. And I, Marcellus, did running in Castries North as an independent. I promise you that. I promise you that. That is one commitment I will make to the people of Castries North and the people of St. Lucia.
Marcellus Backsteed, independent candidate for Castries North. Let me hear from you right now at 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. And let me go through some of your WhatsApp messages. And somebody says there, I would love the church leaders in St. Lucia to address the crime situation, talk about the overwhelming generation curses, how we can deal with it, and stop talking politics, stop defending or depending on politicians for money to care for earthly gains. We have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Timothy, thank you for taking my call.
Yes, ma'am.
I am so excited. I'm happy that I called you and you picked up right away. Timothy, remember, this is, by the way, this is Laura Jepier-Noel. So nobody will get my voice mistaken and ascribe things that I didn't say. But remember a few weeks ago, I would have called you to tell you, to inform you of an incident that would have happened in Labyrinth, or a circumstance, however you want to term it, wherein our young footballers are training in the dark on a field that has light, and that the light would have never come on before except at the Lawas Guanceas. So I have been helping the guys. I've been trying to help them raise funds, to, help them with their football aspirations. So yesterday, I would have gone to the field to meet with them and to speak with them. And I had promised them something. I had already given them part of it, and so I went to give them the balance yesterday. And lo and behold, the lights were on.
Wow.
The lights were on.
So hold on there, ma'am. Hold on. Can you just hold on? Hold on. We have some breaking story to share of an international nature. Sean Diddy Gomes could be jailed for 6 to 7 years. Judge says at sentencing. More on this in just a moment. All right, back with you. Laura Jepier-Noel. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, and don't make the mistake. Yes, the last time you spoke about me, you said my name was Laura Jepier-Emmanuel. But people, my name is Laura Jepier-Noel.
My apologies.
Okay, don't give me any other married name. But anyway, back to the story at hand. So the lights that I've never shown for our young people, whether it's for football, cricket, or any other sport, came on for the second time that I know of. The first time was for Lawas Guanceas. And this time, can you believe, the lights came on for Teachers Appreciation Week. Not for the footballers, not for any of the sports enthusiasts or for the young people, but for the teachers. Now, let me make it lucidly clear. Before anybody says that I do not like the teachers, we love our teachers, we respect our teachers, and we appreciate every single thing that they do to shape our children's future. But does that make it right? When I spoke to the young people, they said, Miss, the lights didn't come on for us, The lights came on immediately that we stopped training. Immediately that we stopped training, the lights came on. The question is, should the light of our field only be switched on for special ceremonies, or while our young athletes continue to practice in the darkness, should the lights only come on for symbolism rather than substance, for photo opportunities rather than real investment in youth and sports? I mean, Timothy, if we can switch the lights on for celebrations, why can't we switch them on for development? And speaking of celebrations and development, Timothy, do you know that the Labyrinth vendors market is still closed to the vendors, that the vendors have never entered the market that was built for them, that they continue to vend by the seaside, rain or shine? Rain or shine, and that the only time that the vendors market has been used has been for celebration? for celebrations. And I'm so happy that you took my call, because it's coming on the heels of your clip showing at a government funded program.
Yeah, ceremony.
Ceremony. Thank you for the word. Ceremony that we are having partisan. I myself, if I wasn't listening from the beginning, I would have thought that this was a political rally. Honestly, I would have thought that it was a political rally. And it was the same thing at the Library Market Square when the market was open all the way back in, I think, March or April. It was the same thing, being used as if it was a partisan rally or something. And yet still, the market square has never been used for the market vendors. Isn't that a shame? That is appalling. And I would like for our district rep to change that. I hear he's going to be having a meeting there very soon, next week, at the market square. I hope that before he has that meeting at the market square, that he allows the vendors to use the market square for what it was meant to be, a market, not for celebrations, not for political rallies, but for the vendors, the farmers, the weaver dares. That's what it was meant for. Let us hope that before he has his first political rally or his first meeting there, the vendors get to use the market for its intended purpose. Thank you so much. And to the footballers, I wish you all the luck as you pursue second-tier status in Soufrière today. And I'm asking all of Labrie to come and support our young boys, come and support our young men. They are doing battle to bring honor back to Labrie, where sports is concerned, in Soufrière today at 7 p.m. Let's go down to Soufrière and support our young boys, despite the hardship of practicing and training in the dock. And I hope now that we have the recorder coming on a second time, there will be no reason why those lights cannot come on all the time for the young men and women and the sports enthusiasts of Labrie. Thank you so much, Timothy.
Thank you so much for calling, ma'am. Laura Jean-Pierre Emmanuel, who is the United Workers' Party candidate for Labrie. We have another lady who is on the line. Let's see if we take that call via WhatsApp. Hello, and okay, let's see there what we can do. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Again, 716-2026. And let me see if I could go through your WhatsApp messages. And somebody says there via WhatsApp. Just bear with me. Hi, Tim. The government has just made caregivers permanent workers, and our special police constables have been on contract for years. Some of them only receiving 3 months to a year contract at a time, making it difficult to get loans. If it is good for the caregivers, why can't our police enjoy that too? Tim, this is unfair. And let me say good afternoon to you, Amanda. Let's find out what is happening in the chat room.
Tim, a few comments here. The NewsSpin says, this is absolutely disgusting. How about those workers who do not support the SLP? Commentary reads, is this a political rally? A NewsSpin says, Tim, we want a Saturday edition of NewsSpin until elections. There shall be no rest for this wicked government. Another commentary says, where is the money coming from to pay them? Someone says here, I know of some persons working in the public service for a while, more than 10 years, meaning paid with public funds, who are still not permanent. Commentary says, Tim, this happened in the presence of the Prime Minister circumventing the staff orders. What has St. Lucia come to? And NewsSpinner says, why are St. Lucians so ignorant? Sometimes ignorance of that nature makes me want to sell my St. Lucian passports. Another commentary reads, going too far with this BS. Government institutions being used to campaign for the SLP. Commentary says, it is sad that everything done by our government and nation is now politicized. This event here and even official Juniquil events in the community. We need to separate country governance from campaigning. Is there any law for that? Someone says here, Tim, I am always locked into your show. Oh, I read that yesterday. A commentary says, wow, my tax money is being used to finance an SLP meeting, passing as a government activity, and government ministers facilitating that. St. Lucia is truly becoming a one-party state. A commentary says, regardless of your political affiliation, this is wrong on all fronts. A NewsSpinner says he is trying to come across as an independent, but is a losing battle. Who is the we he keeps referring to? Another commentary says he's really an SLP supporter running under the disguise of an independent candidate. Those comments are referring to Mr. Backsteed. Commentary says, this lady as a St. Lucian should be ashamed of herself, such ignorance on her part. There is a place and time for campaigning. Lady, educate yourself. A commentary reads, can the both siders give us a UWP equivalent of this nonsense we just watched? And a commentary says the Labours are just using people with no intelligence to help them protect their victory. That woman should know better. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Amanda. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon, team.
Hi.
Good afternoon, Amanda.
Good afternoon to you, Doc.
Good afternoon, caller.
Yes, good afternoon. It's kind of difficult trying to get you these days.
You see,
team,
everybody's
yesterday
complaining of difficulty in getting onto the program, and people are complaining as well. When I decide to limit certain contributions. But anyway, go ahead, Doc.
No, but let me tell you, I hope you and Rick are back on good footing.
No. We are always we are always on good foot. We are always on good footing.
Because I like to hear Rick, and I admire his experience, his contributions, and so on. So we need the contribution of Rick.
We are
now,
okay.
Tim, what I wanted to speak of, and that was from yesterday, was the luncheon of Danny Butcher in Vieux-Fort and the remarks made by Dr. Kenny D. Anthony. If we go back, we will remember that Dr. Anthony came to the leadership of the St. Lucia Labour Party straight from university. Okay? Dr. Anthony was not an MP or anything. In the time in 1997, when the crisis of Julian R. Hunt, and there was a leadership crisis at the time, and Dr. Anthony came straight to the helm of the St. Lucia Labour Party, went straight through. And at that particular time, we had problems in the banana industry, like the Salvation Banana Salvation Committee. These guys had certain issues with John Compton. And also, many St. Lucians looked at Dr. Anthony as a young, brilliant, vibrant, revolutionary kind of politician. You understand me? And with all of the ideas, and St. Lucians were ready to give him a chance. And he won 16-1. All right? 16-1. Now, Dr. Anthony must remember, he is accountable to the people of St. Lucia. Every St. Lucian had a right to ask him what his policies are, what he has done for the community, what he has done for the country, what he has done throughout his time. And I think it is fitting for a young politician like Tommy Descott to ask the questions of Dr. Anthony. Every St. Lucian has the right to ask the questions of Dr. Anthony. What did you do in your reign? What is it for the development of our country? What are the policies that you have done that have pushed our country from John Compton's era to that particular time? That, you see, when you go in to serve a country. Your legacy will speak. When you are dead, certain things that you have done will show what you have done for your country. It's not whether you had doctorates, whatever. It is what you have done for your country and what you have done to improve the lives of the people in your country. So any politician, and I encourage any young person to be a critical thinker, to ask the necessary questions of politicians. And because as public servants, you are given an appraisal by your peers. But politicians are, the appraisal is the public, the people. Tony Blair had to answer to the people of England. Trudeau had to answer to the people of Canada. So why is it that Dr. Anthony cannot ask, nobody can ask him questions? The second point is, what exactly Dr. Anthony means that the threats, what exactly, why, what he needs to state what he means by that. Because if you're not going to take Tommy to the courts, what is it? Did defamation of any character? Did Tommy think any defamation of character? Tommy is just asking you, what have you done? Is asking certain questions of your policy. So I think Dr. Anthony is threatened by the fact that Tommy Descat is a well-liked young man, an academic thinker. And also, Tommy Descat is a threat to his poster boy, Ernest Healy. Because in Dr. Anthony's mind, Dr. Anthony wanted Ernest Healy to be the next PM. All right? So Tommy Descat is posing a threat. That is my analysis of it. But Dr. Anthony needs to say, what is he threatening Tommy Descat about? Because Dr. Anthony must remember, he's an ex-prime minister. He is a district rep. He is a statesman. That he is supposed to encourage young politicians to do the best for their country, not to threaten people. That politics of division should not occur. Our young men and aspiring young female politicians should seek purpose in what they are doing for the country, so that tomorrow our country can be like Singapore, like Taiwan, like so on, so because we are capable of moving forward. So Dr. Anthony what he can do now is write a book about what he couldn't do and what his obstacles were in politics, and that's the best thing he can do for the generation to come. But I do not think he should threaten anybody, because you see that nonsense that happened of affirmative action in the public service and in the politics of St. Lucia should not occur. Our people should start analyzing policies. You see that character assassination, defamation, mepui, all of these things should not, our young people and our people should not tolerate that. You understand, in 2025, we are supposed to move forward. And this is not revolutionary, because I never saw that with Fidel Castro. Fidel Castro changed the lives of his people. He did a change, although they have an embargo and there are certain problems in this country. But when you speak of comrade, and when you speak of revolutionary change, you have to change the lives of the people in your country for the better. And the infrastructure, the education, the health, and the economic basis. So I think that threat is nonsense. And Dr. Anthony here, at his age and stage, should be a better example, especially to Danny Butcher. And I must say, Dr. Anthony taught me at Vieux-Fort Compre. We admired him. You understand what I mean? But today, I can analyze the policies, and working in the public service, I saw the actions and so on, and the divisiveness that occurred. And I don't want my country to go down that road. And we should not allow any politician to divide St. Lucians. We should work for the betterment of our country. And let me tell you something, Tommy, you are on the right track. You understand me? Work for your people, work for our purpose, and do not let nobody distract you. Do what you think is best for your country and for the people of Castro itself.
Okay, thank you so much for calling. You just heard there from Dr. Sylvia Wilson. And I got it wrong again, involving pertaining to Laura. So it's Laura Jean-Pierre Noel. Laura Jean-Pierre Noel. 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. We take a call. Rick Wayne is online. Good afternoon to you, sir. You're on the air. Rick Wayne.
I like that too. I want your
my audience.
Your audience to know, Tim, that I didn't hang up on you yesterday or anything like that. It tends to be abrupt. Most people who know me know my conversations tend to end abruptly. But yesterday I stopped because I was about to go into something that would take time, and so it just coincided with your little joke about talk, and I stopped there.
But seriously, Rick, are you considering returning to your perch at DBS?
Talk?
Yeah? You're thinking about it?
Tim, I am very, very disgusted with, yes, I should have, I'll answer your question, but I would have led into that. To say the least, I don't want to be part of what passes for talk shows right now. If I were convinced that the show would draw the thinking St. Lucians on a regular basis who would be prepared to discuss serious matters as concerned citizens, I might well go on to it. But I'm not going to go on television so I can compete with guys in the pigsty. I'm not into that. I'm too old for that. I'm too experienced for that. I am too smart for that. I think too much of myself for that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to have to start exchanging kukun mamao. And by the way, don't be surprised, Rick, when you just said kukun mamao, you know, because it is common language.
I don't think that is suitable for the people who are listening to the program right now and having lunch. Okay, so let's stay away from that.
Pardon me?
I don't think it's appropriate, particularly for my audience. People are having lunch at this point in time. Okay, and my people are very sophisticated.
I don't know. Yeah, but the point is, I don't know why, Tim. I don't know why you put eating into this conversation at all. But I say those things with purpose. Those are words. Sadly, they are associated with women. Sadly, all our cuss words, worst cuss words, are associated with women. That's very sad. But it's even sadder that only a few years ago, the scummiest people would not want to be heard using words like that with reference to criticizing a policy or a show host who interviewed. I mean, that's the kind of language, and we roll with it, Tim. We roll with it. That's how far down we have gone down into the sewer, so to speak. Now, what I wanted to ask you, Tim, and permit me to be a little bit Socratic.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think St. Lucians, as a people, we love ourselves?
I think we do. Yes, we do.
Would you be prepared to tell me how that love for one another is manifested?
No. You say whether we love ourselves. You're talking about as individuals.
No.
Oh. Do we love each other?
Yeah, as individuals.
Do we love each other?
As individuals and as a people.
Okay. I think in a nutshell, we love ourselves to the point where I think that we are selfish because we don't care about other people. We don't care about the plight of our brothers and sisters.
But that's not loving yourself, Jim.
No, I'm just saying you love yourself to the extent that you do not care about the plight of other people.
Okay, so let me save time, Jim. Let me save time. When I say, do you love yourself, I mean, do you take care of yourself psychically, mentally, intellectually, your diet, you keep in shape, you do all these things. You don't harbor the nasty.
So let's put it this way. I think inadvertently, we don't love ourselves.
Inadvertently.
Yes.
Let us.
It's not something that we're doing deliberately in terms of how we treat ourselves.
let us forget inadvertently or advertently. The evidence would show we don't love ourselves because we don't push anything even in favor of ourselves individually. Whether it's political or otherwise, we consider ourselves, we don't even think of ourselves. Okay. Now, if I were to ask you the same question, do you think we hate ourselves as a people?
I wouldn't say we hate ourselves, no.
I would answer for you.
Go ahead.
A resounding hate. Of course we hate ourselves. We don't want anything good for ourselves. Nothing good. We don't support our environment. We don't support one another. We are not kind to one another. We're ready to kill one another in the name of politics, and so on and so on and so on. Now, I say that because that young guy backs. He's not going to get anywhere. I think he knows it would take a miracle for him to get anywhere with his campaign. But it's not so much how Dax makes out.
Yeah, but what gives you the impression he will not get anywhere?
Because we don't like ourselves. We don't love ourselves.
You're going on the basis... No, Rick. You're going on the basis of what has traditionally happened. But we don't know, unless if you have a crystal ball, we don't know what will happen with regard to...
Let me answer it this way, Tim.
With regard to backs in that particular contest. Mm-hmm.
Let me answer it this way. If something different were to happen, I would say hallelujah. Yeah. It would be aberrational as hell. But if the normal happens, then we know what the normal is. Demonstrations of us not loving ourselves. If a miracle would happen, it would be a change, a miracle, an aberration, whatever you want to call it. So I am not going to start thinking in terms of the unlikely as opposed to the likely. Okay. That guy, here's the point I want to make. He's not a stupid guy. He's obviously a very smart guy. But this man, when that election is over, in fact, he's caught my eye from day one. When that election is over, and if we had real journalists here who just wrote about what happened in the country to record things and so on, they would take note of it. This guy has set a whole new standard for campaigning. One, this guy is using the internet, the media, in ways nobody else has thought to use it. This guy has quietly on his own used whatever connections he has already to get scholarships or whatever. He has a background. His background is athletics and so on. This guy is talking about sports economics, which I think he means what we used to call sports tourism, which I suppose you could call the cricket matches we have now and then. But that's not sports tourism. That's what it only shows what it could be. You know what I'm saying? We could actually have people having sports here where we don't even compete. Just invite for the environment and so on. That's another show. But sports tourism is another thing. But the guy is talking about all these things. And when he criticizes King, who deserves to be criticized like hell, and he's not being criticized like hell, and I believe the reason the politicians stick to the may tweet him is because they themselves have similar skeletons in their closet. So you can't say this and you can't say that because we both did it. And nobody is going to say, I did it, I was wrong, I did so and so. And I want to point out that this guy is doing it now and he should stop it. We were both wrong. Speak for the country. Speak, address wrongs and rights. Just like I'm saying about this guy. I haven't heard anybody talk about this guy other than me going nowhere. But the point is, he's setting a standard of very, what's the word I'm looking for? A standard that I would like to see emulated. The man is talking about King in terms of King's, whatever you want to put it, incompetence, laziness, taking it for granted. When King talked about, when he used to talk about how he had the best education, remember when the Labour Party was saying he had no education at all?
Yeah. And
he always came back with the line that he had the best education with Compton and Girardi. Remember that?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that they taught him, etc. But if you want to do a serious analysis of King's career, King has spat on the graves of both Girardi and Compton in all ways. You know, I don't want to go into that now, but I'm not campaigning for anybody else. But I want to concentrate on Mr. Bax. This guy is something to watch.
That's why the outcome will and could surprise you, Rick.
Oh, but I would be so happy if I was surprised, Tim. I would be so happy to be wrong, but I know I'm going to be disappointed, and I will prove right, sadly again. But what a beautiful. The guy's actually a teacher. He's on his feet everywhere. He stands and they're the things he's talking about.
Well, he's not a teacher. He's not a teacher right now. He's a businessman.
Well, he's teaching. I didn't even realize he was actually a teacher. I meant he was teaching us things.
Okay, all right.
Like he'd be showing the environment. He's teaching us things. I have been following this guy, and I've been very, very interested in the unique way this man is going about his campaign. And I wonder why. And this guy obviously doesn't have any money. But that is the guy that people should be putting their $1 behind. $1. Because if this guy can catch on, we will have a new breed of politician. We will have a new breed of voter. We will look at elections total. I mean, when you look at the campaigns going on right now.
But before you continue, Rick, what I could tell you is that he comes across as being genuine. He's authentic.
Absolutely.
Okay? And he does not come up in a tone that is so polished or manufactured. You know, some people, they come with that particular Centaurian tone, you know, when they want to appear to be commanding and impressive. But he's very conversational.
He actually, once in a while, gives credit.
Yeah.
He actually gives credit. When you listen to our politicians, the other side has never done one thing right. I mean, we campaign, but we are intelligent people. Sometimes we can give a guy $10 and take back the 20, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
I give you credit for this, but man, what about this overwhelming other part that you neglected? But give credit the way it is now, and we now getting into people's pants and their mothers and their fathers. Yesterday I heard what's her name, Lady Lee. Lady Lee having a very, very difficult time talking about her father, who apparently was not the greatest citizen in the world, etc. And she was trying to defend her father's waywardness, but it's herself she was trying to defend. You got what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As if your mother was a hooker, then you should not have any aspirations whatsoever, least of all trying to get into office. Tim, if you check the leaders of the world that we know of, from Kennedy down, you will find their fathers who are not exactly exemplars, you know. Kennedy's father, I don't want to go into it. Trump's father, I don't want to go into it. Fathers of certain people in this country who've been in office and carried on. Their kids want to get into politics. And yet, so they should. And they should not be made to pay for what their father did. They're supposed to account for themselves. We should also admire people who make the special effort to get out of the mire created by their fathers before they were even born, and applaud them for moving away from that and setting a new trend. But we don't do that. We bring it back to them. You remember your father was a this, your mother was a this, where you think going there, that kind of stuff. You know, and we don't realize we have to hate. You have to hate yourself to do that. And when you do it as a community, you are a community going nowhere because you are at war with yourself. You know. I think I'm taking enough time, right?
You are up to 14 minutes and 19 seconds. Thank you so much, Rick.
Oh, you can't give me one more second?
Go right ahead, sir.
Yeah, one more second. Just make up for yesterday. That matter of Lisa, whatever her name is.
Javier?
And that letter.
Yeah.
Tim, everybody's entitled, not only entitled, almost everybody in this country will have some kind of loan or some kind of mortgage or some kind of credit that somebody, even at a bar and whatnot, that they haven't paid for or they're late and all that. That is normal. So whatever there is wrong with the Lisa situation is not that she borrowed money or whatever. It is that, to quote Kenny Anthony, let me quote Kenny Anthony, that the public, when you put yourself up as a candidate for elections, it doesn't matter whether you've been to the courts and the courts have resolved your problem or whatever. It doesn't matter. The people take their vote too lightly. They cast their vote too lackadaisically. Kenny Anthony says so, and that's one of the things I totally agree with him. And we have every right to ask candidates what would be considered the most private of questions. What you are saying to the electorate is, here I am, I stand before you naked, I'm clean. And if there's any kind of smear on your forehead, they have a right to ask you how you got that smear and ask you 2 and 3 times if need be. So you cannot say there is a letter floating around that says some not pleasant things about this candidate, and she can just stay there and say nothing. She is accountable. She has to account. The minute you put yourself in the public arena, you should know that you are accountable to those people, to tell them that the person they are voting for is worthy of their vote. And it is contempt just to say it's my business. It's not your business once you put yourself in the public domain, and that matter may cast some kind of light on your character. That if you're not going to take care of your private business, then you're not going to take care of my business, which doesn't mean Rick Wayne is a saint or Tim is a saint. But what I'm saying there is irrefutable. And that's one of the reasons I was never interested in running for no damn politics in St. Lucia, because the politics of St. Lucia is too ignorant, too primitive, too counterproductive, too hateful. Nobody wants to talk about issues. All they want to talk about is the panty you wear, what man you jumping like, how many times. That is so disgusting, and today it's all over the internet, people watching us behaving like animals. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you so much for calling. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. It is called NewsSpin. Still to come, you'll be hearing from the MP for Castries North and Government Minister Stevenson King. Why he has not joined the SLP, he will answer that question.
KFC, yo, we back with the vibe. Strips and dip combo, flavor that rise. Free crispy strips, fries on the side. 16-ounce drink, sauce for the ride. Order for 25, deal so nice. Golden and crunchy, can't think twice. Barbecue, honey, mustard ranch if you wish. Dip it, dunk it, finger licking bliss. KFC, running flavor. Set the mood, strips and dip is back. Finger licking good.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbute at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Are you ready? Get set. Let's go green with New Select. No more paper, no more mess. Easy billing, no stress. Use my account to pay online. Pay your bill at any time. Get the stress off your mind. No more standing in line.
Visit newselect.com today and sign up to my account to pay your bill. Request a temporary or new connection or switch an account to your tenant's name. Do it all online.
Personal, paperless. Use the virtual service desk. Are you ready? Get set. Let's go green with New Select.
At Flow, loyalty pays back. Big time. That's why we're rewarding our customers with $400 in vouchers. That's like 6 months of your mobile bill back in your pocket. Simply add mobile to your current home internet plan and claim your $400 in rewards today. At Flow, loyalty pays back. That's how we keep your rhythm flowing.
chronic back pain, arthritis, spinal injuries, nerve disorders, even painful cramps. These conditions affect daily life, but you don't have to live with pain. Every day matters when it comes to your health. At La Clinique du Corps, we provide fast, accurate diagnosis with advanced GE-certified MRI technology and internationally recognized specialists. Our focus is safe, effective treatment that restores mobility, relieves pain, and gives you back your quality of life. Call 451-6559 today. 451-6559. La Clinique du Corps, because time is vital in health.
At First National Bank, we believe being first means putting you first. Your first home, we've got the mortgage. Starting your first business, count on our commercial loans. Dreaming of your first car? Drive it home today. Heading to college? Let's fund that first big step with a student loan. No matter the milestone, make First National Bank your first choice for all your loan needs. First in service, first in trust, first for you. Call us at 455-7000 or visit your nearest First National Bank branch today so we can help put you first. First National Bank, here for you.
It's coming. The brunch of the century. Welcome to Sunburnt. It's coming. Sunburnt.
Miku South! This Sunday, October 5th from 3 p.m., the St. Lucia Labour Party proudly launches Shanda Harak Singh, your candidate who will lead with care, courage, and conviction. Join us at the Miku playing field as we stand together with our political leader and Prime Minister, Honorable Philip J. Pierre, to celebrate leadership, progress, and opportunities for all. This Sunday, Miku South comes alive with Shanda Harak Singh and Prime Minister Pierre. We are moving forward together.
Dr. Harak Singh, we voting. Dr. Harak Singh, we voting. Let me hear you say, Shanda, Shanda. Shanda, Shandali.
NewsSpin calling. NewsSpin calling. NewsSpin calling. Across the land, all across the world. Echoes of voices, we join hand in hand. Harmony rise in the afternoon sun. Come along, NewsSpin has begun. NewsSpin is the best, better than all talk show. Most monitored talk show in the world. True from St. Lucia to sandy shores, from cities and hills to the Caribbean breeze. We sing together, hearts at ease. Education to open every mind. Learn about your country, leave no one behind. When we NewsSpin is on your radio, come along hands in hands, voices in unity, singing loud. NewsSpin, who's the best, better than all talk show, most monitored talk show in the world. St. Lucian's heart to the world's every land. Knowledge unites us hand in hand. Yeah, Tim on NewsSpin call, bridging gaps between us all. Voices lift on high, under one sky we unify. Tim on NewsSpin call, bridging gaps between us all. Voices lift on high, under one sky we unify. NewsSpin is on education for all, from city streets to mountains tall. Learn your history, share your dreams. Together we light the world with our flame. NewsSpin is the best, better than all talk show, most monitored talk show in the world. Better than all talk show, most monitored talk show in the world. NewsSpin is the best, better than all talk show, most monitored talk show in the world. Yeah, NewsSpin is the best, better than all talk show, most monitored talk show in the world.
For a call at 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. We have a call. Hello. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Hey, Tim, how you doing?
I'm okay, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
All right, Tim. So, Tim, I listened to your to the beginning of your show this afternoon, and did I see correctly? There was this meeting at the cultural center, and I can see some SSDF banners on the stage telling me that this is a government activity. And the speech that I heard going on there sounded like something coming off a political platform. Did I see it correctly? Was that a SSDF banner for real, for real?
That's what it was, sir. And it was not a meeting of the St. Lucia Labour Party. It was a government event.
Wow. So now state resources are blatantly being used to campaign. Tim, I have a similar situation that I want to shed some light on. Maybe you could educate me. Maybe I am not in the know and I need to understand how things work. Tim, do the government ministers have to use a SLG vehicle during political rallies for motorcades and so on?
They ought not to.
They ought not to. So I would believe that the parliamentary rep for Denrinoff is quite aware that he's not supposed to do that. So let me share a little bit of information with you, Tim. The gentleman has an SLG vehicle that he uses as the Minister of Education. However, what I realize is being done every Sunday for the last 2 Sundays or 3 Sundays is that an unregistered number plate is fixed onto the SLG vehicle owned by the government of St. Lucia, and it is used by the district rep in the political campaigns as his transport to and from these rallies.
So you're saying you're claiming that the SLG number plate is actually removed?
It's removed. It is removed. And it is replaced with another number plate. And Tim, I can send you proof of this. I have images of it. And I have done my checks at the Ministry of Infrastructure, and it is not a registered plate. So Tim, things like these happen in our country and nothing is done about it. And even if me and you or everybody complains about it, nothing is done about it. Because we have reached a state where our country is lawless and persons in power feel like they can do whatever they want to do and nothing can be done about it. And I blame our people because our people support this. If it's red, all the red supporters will support it. Well, majority of them. And those who don't support it, they will remain very quiet. If it's yellow, it's the same story. And Tim, something like that cannot be allowed. We talk about criminals and criminality in this country. So what if I decided tomorrow morning to remove the plates on my vehicle and put an unregistered plate and drive around the place? Is that a problem? Would I get a ticket for that? So how is it that a sitting government minister can remove the SLG plates from the government of St. Lucia vehicle and put a false number plate on it and drive it around in a motorcade? How is that possible?
No, caller, this will have to be verified, because this
Tim, when I get off the call with you, I will send you the photos and you will do the necessary research to find out if this number is indeed registered to any vehicle in St. Lucia.
Okay, but this will have to be verified.
All right, Tim.
All right, sir.
Have a good day.
Okay, you too. Thank you so much for calling. So this remains unverified. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Somebody says, others are using theirs. I will make a video of them this weekend. That's according to a WhatsApp message. And let me see if I could go through some more of your messages. And somebody says there via WhatsApp. Let me see. Okay, somebody says there, Tim, once you put your name up for public office, there is nothing like private life anymore. You have to answer the question the massive is asking. And let us see whether we will get any kind of reaction to this particular lawyer's letter that is in circulation. Reaction coming from Lisa Jarayer, who is the St. Lucia Labour Party candidate for Castries Southeast in the upcoming general election. Let's see if we could go through another WhatsApp message. Somebody says that, Tim, in the U.S., when you apply for certain jobs, your prospective employer will conduct a credit check on you. That is to find out if you are in debt and whether you will be unscrupulous during your potential employment or tempted to commit any dishonest acts in order to facilitate your debts. A call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Yeah, hi.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller. Hello.
Yeah, Tim.
Yes, sir. You are on the air.
Indeed. How you doing, Tim?
I'm okay. How about you?
I'm doing perfect. How is Amanda next side there?
Good afternoon, caller. I'm fine, thank you.
Tim, I just called to applaud the policeman. The police had a piece of performance in Marshall day before, Tim. From 4 o'clock, them man had Marshall lock. I applaud them big time, Tim. Only to find out they only came out from Marsh, I think, with a pig.
What? What they did? With a pig?
Only a pig, Tim.
Why? How did that happen?
After 5 or 6 hours. That's all they got from Masha. Only a pig.
But what's the story behind that?
It looks like it's a stolen pig.
A stolen pig?
It's a stolen pig that was recovered.
Okay.
But the main purpose of the search of the lockdown was for guns and ammunition, control drugs and whatnot, which was they haven't put out no press briefing on that to say what they recovered or what they did or what they didn't do. Nothing like that haven't come out. Tim, yesterday, last night, Tim Marsha was on the fire, Tim. Tim, something knocked Marsha there, and I could bet you everybody in the area was sleeping. They was up last night, and they couldn't go back to sleep last night, Tim. Tim, when that knock in the place, if you was playing football, Tim, you had to lie down flat on the ground. In the Marsha grounds. So I want to know what the police came and do the day before yesterday morning. What they came and do and what exactly was their purpose, because it looked like them man just come in there with excitement.
So what time you heard that sound?
Tim, I mean, was that?
But what time you heard that gunshot or the sound?
What time it was? Around after 10.
In the evening?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, around after 9 climbing to 10. Nothing far from that. Timber, we need a little more of them too. Them fellas, we need to send them fellas Afghanistan. Where we getting them artillery from, Tim? We're not manufacturing them artilleries in St. Lucia. And then you're not hearing none of the operatives of the government talking about his constituency, which is a escalated crime zone. The constituency is an escalated crime zone. Because you could ask the public how they feel about walking in this community. Nobody's feeling safe walking there, whether it's the day, the morning, the night, the noon. Nobody feels safe walking that community. No hour, no time of the day or the night. It's not safe, Tim.
Well, I hope the MP for the area and Prime Minister and National Security Minister Philip JP is listening to your contribution, sir. We hope you will do something about it.
The National Security Minister.
You didn't know?
Tim, but if the man say his father is police, he's not either is police, why he take on that position? That's it.
All right, that's
Tim, we go talk again. It's best you'll send them a Nigeria for Tini boy.
All right. Thank you so much for calling. Somebody says there, yep, automatic gunfire. Amanda, what's happening in the chat room?
Tim, a few comments I missed from earlier. NewsSpin says Trump will pardon Diddy soon. A commentary reads, will P. Diddy take his baby oil shipment with him to prison? A NewsSpinner says, where is the $265 million for the hospital? Another commentary reads, this library market is only a theater show, so they have never put the vendors first, however you have to go. Continuing, a commentary reads, Team, did any of the SLP ministers or comrades come at this same ceremony to right this wrong that this lady did with her speech? Is this a staged protecting the victory speech? A commentary reads, why cry for people?
Before I continue, somebody did condemn this incident which occurred at I think during that ceremony yesterday for the caregivers, elderly caregivers. And the person wrote on Facebook, "This is inappropriate for the occasion. This is not an SLP event where electioneering is allowed. This is a government of St. Lucia occasion, not appropriate at all." Once again, the person wrote, "This is inappropriate for the occasion. This is not an SLP event where electioneering is allowed. This is a government of St. Lucia occasion, not appropriate at all." That person is one Karen Tobia. Continue.
Tim Commentary says, "Why cry for people that do not care about what happens to them or the country?" And NewsSpinner says, "How can SLP use government's business to push their campaign? Pure BS. SLP is disgusting." A commentary says, "SLP blurs the lines between government and party." A commentary says, "My quote for today, handouts do not advance the quality of St. Lucia." Someone says here, "We do not love each other because we disrespect each other." A NewsSpinner says, "To St. Lucia's political party supporters, red and yellow, black and white, I'll say to you that we should never allow politicians or political party affiliation or political comments or opinions to divide us. Everyone has a right to decide their own political destination without fear of the backlash from supporters on the other side. Division does not make us or our political party better than the other, but better with each other." A commentator says, "Rick Wayne, St. Lucians do not love themselves. I say so because they fight for a government that's against them. Who in their right minds supports a government that constantly implements inflation on them? Shake my head." And NewsSpinner says, "They're so true, but it's the kind of people that are in politics that are dirty, not politics itself. And it seems like these St. Lucian politicians are learning from the United States politics under Donald Trump. The hatred, the name-calling, the attacks, the insults, the no accountability, integrity, honesty, transparency, and humanity." A commentary says, "Tim, as a black man, you should be ashamed of yourself for supporting Alan Chasney, a man whose family benefited from the enslavement of black people for 400 years. You are a traitor of the black race. No wonder we are not making any progress as black people."
Well, for me, it is not about supporting white or black. And whoever told you that I am a supporter of Alan Chasney? We must learn to grow up. We are now in the global community. And if you dislike somebody because of the color of the skin, that makes you a racist. Some white people hate blacks. Some blacks hate whites. You cannot be a racist. And we are all made in the image of God the Almighty. So if you ask me to hate somebody because they are white, you have a tendency to hate people who knows because they are too tall. You have a tendency as well to hate people because they are short. You think about that. So it's not about liking this individual or that individual on the basis of their color. I am no traitor at all. I am no traitor at all. I am all for supporting individuals who are progressive, who can use their whatever talents that they have at their disposal, whether they are white, black, short, male, or female, to better the interest of the people of St. Lucia. And we must completely lose that mindset. Do not hate Philip J. Pierre because he is black and is from Marshall or from Waterworks Road. Do not hate Alan Chasney because he is from white or from a privileged class. You do not choose your class. Invariably, you do not choose. You do not choose your parents, who is your mother and who is your father. And it is myopic. It is certainly ignorant, very ignorant of you individuals who hate people because of the color of their skin. But yet still, you hypocrites, you are there as a vendor, you are there as a taxi driver, you are there as a domestic worker, and you want to work for rich people, you want to work for white people, you want more tourists to be entering our shores. Don't let the politicians fool you. And the politicians have done a great job in planting into the mind of the people of this country, a certain section, those people who cannot think for themselves, that you ought not to vote for an individual because of the color of their skin. Yet still, we want to benefit from the tourism industry. The majority of tourists coming into St. Lucia are Caucasians, are white people. And I hope with that kind of mindset, that kind of attitude that is being spread, in some cases surreptitiously, in St. Lucia by our leaders, that the Martinicans, they are watching and listening. The white folks in particular. The Americans are watching and listening. And, you know, a lot of those people are peddling this thing about whites and black and so on. They fight. They literally fight to get an American visa. They want to go to the white man's place. They want to go to Canada. They want to go to the UK. And if they go to Barbados, apply for a visa, they don't get it, they cry. They lose sleep over it. So let us all be very, very, very careful as the people of this country. When you are voting, don't decide to vote for somebody because they are rich, because they are poor, because of their whether the sex, whether they're male or female, because they are short or because they are tall. You vote for people on the basis of their capabilities. Another thing we do, we hate foreigners. This guy is from St. Vincent. This guy was born in Guyana. So why should he be speaking in St. Lucia? So many foreigners who right now, they hold leadership positions in our country in various areas. Take, for example, who are the people who have control of our ports? White people from GPH. So if you're going to play race, black people from in the government of St. Lucia handed our port to the white people from GPH, and those same black people are telling us, do not vote for a white man. Does that make sense to you? The black people gave our ports to the white people, and those black people are telling us, do not vote for a white man. They are using us. Let's not be fooled. And this thing about foreigners, let me take the opportunity to play this clip featuring the Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Mottley. And she addressed the nation recently because they have entered into agreement for the free movement of people from Belize. You have Barbados. You also have St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Dominica. Free movement, work, go to study there, etc. And she addressed the nation on this. And she made reference to the fact that David Thompson, who became the Prime Minister of Barbados a few decades ago, was not born in Barbados. He was born in the UK. The same way Alan Chasney, who served as our Prime Minister, was not born in St. Lucia. He was born in Martinique. Let's listen.
Look around and you will see interwoven, we are already who we are. Rihanna, our national hero, and may I say congratulations to her on the birth of her third child. Rihanna is the child of a Barbadian father and a Guyanese mother. Obadele Thompson, our Olympic bronze medalist who celebrated 25 years since lifting our flag at Sydney in the Sydney Games. He is the child of a Guyanese father and a Bermudan mother. The Most Honorable Professor Emeritus Udine Barreto, our first female principal of the Cave Hill campus of the West Indies, University of the West Indies, and a distinguished graduate of Ellerslie School, was born in Grenada. Dame Olga Lope-Seal, who we all know as Auntie Olga, and who protected so many Bajan families. She was born in Guyana. Sir Arnott Cato, who many of you may not remember, the older ones among us will, a Vincentian by birth, served at the center of our democracy as President of the Senate of Barbados. Our own ambassador to CARICOM, David Commijon, was born in St. Vincent, but raised in Barbados. And if we wanted to continue outside the region, let us not forget that the former Prime Minister, David Thompson, of beloved memory, was born in the United Kingdom, as was Alison Hines and John King.
Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Mottley. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. When we come back, for sure, we'll be hearing from Stevenson King.
Ouais, monsieur, aujourd'hui, moi, la KSP plein bon gloire.
Sitting on pani pressure. Mwen ni tongue, mwen ni glow, me mani pressure. Ou sav sa mwen bezwen? A pomme. Ça c'est bêtise. Moi ka ale ko Europa. Yo ni tout pomme pour toute condition. Qui pour kay, qui pour business. Yo ni pli mer pour y pomme set lisi. Yo ka ranger pomme aussi qui besoin service. Prendre pomme yo c'est Léo. Pomme ça c'est major. I bon tout bonnement. Tant si ten moi actuellement. Glo ka fante. Europa ni pomme glo Léo under pour les nerfs, orange et gris. Visitez Europa ambassade Gozile. Les mots au téléphone 452-0763.
Essier, don't tell me that tire flat again. I just changed that tire.
Wait, what? You just changed that tire?
Well, I bought a used one because you didn't give me enough money.
Oh, I see. Well, you know what? Chivi's Tire Shop only carry brand new quality tires at affordable prices with free installation.
Hey, it seems you're working at Chivi's Tire Shop. How you know all that?
Come on, Brenda. The tire shop down the road from our home in the American Drywall Building.
Oh, yes. I forgot. Well, you know what, Patrick? Let's go there right now. Take your wallet. Let's go.
Chivi's Tire Shop, located at the American Drywall Building, Vic Bouteille. Call or WhatsApp 584-5986. Chivi's Tire Shop. Pay less, drive more.
Lucilec averti ou pour point précaution durant saison cyclone ça là. Mi un petit commission qui kaywen de ou protéger la vie ou ek propriétaire ou. Kouye Lucilec avant ou trim et ben couper pied bois qui poué ligne électrique. Veillez pour ligne courant électrique avant ou monter l'échelle. Fait assurer l'échelle, scaffold et bout d'outils ou ka servi pas vini moins qui 10 pieds hors ligne courant électrique. Pas jamais servi appliance et ben outils qui ka servi courant électrique. Des wall côté qui mouillé et ben en la pli. Ça c'était en commission hors Lucilec.
Tired of sky-high bills and a planet on the brink? It's time to go green without burning your pockets. At First National Bank, we are here to make saving the planet affordable. Whether you're installing solar panels, purchasing a water tank, upgrading to an inverter AC, or buying a hybrid vehicle, we've got the green to help you go green. Fast approval, low interest rates, and Mother Nature approved. Your future self will thank you. Visit firstnationalbankonline.com or call 455-7000 for more information to help you turn your green dreams into clean realities. First National Bank, here for you.
It's in the feeling in how we talk. It's in the meaning in our spark. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are, 'cause the rhythm of life keeps pumping. Together going strong, no matter what we keep things flowing. Before we will go all in, our hands up in the sky, celebrating. Come let your rhythm flow.
KFC, yo, we back with the vibe. Strips and dip combo, flavor that rise. Free crispy strips, fries on the side. 16-ounce drink, sauce for the ride. Order for 25, deal so nice. Go down and crunchy, can't think twice. Barbecue, honey, mustard ranch if you wish. Dip it, dunk it, finger licking bliss. KFC, running flavor, set the mood. Strips and dip is back, finger licking good.
Chronic back pain, arthritis, spinal injuries, nerve disorders, even painful cramps. These conditions affect daily life, but you don't have to live with pain. Every day matters when it comes to your health. At La Clinique du Corps, we provide fast, accurate diagnosis with advanced GE-certified MRI technology and internationally recognized specialists. Our focus is safe, effective treatment that restores mobility, relieves pain, and gives you back your quality of life. Call 451-6559 today. 451-6559. La Clinique du Corps, because time is vital in health.
Yes. That was the Lucia Top 5 for Carnival 2025.
live. Yes. Welcome back to Real Men Take Charge, guys. Real Men Check Up.
To all my listeners out there, visit a men's health clinic in your area today.
PSA checkups are now free.
It's private, it's quick, it's efficient, and convenient.
Music touches the soul, but health keeps the rhythm going. Fellas, it's time to check your PSA levels. It's free, it's simple, it can save your life.
Brothers, do you not know that your bodies are the temples of the Holy Spirit? Let us be wise stewards of our lives. Prostate test saves lives. Let us not wait until it is too late.
To be a champion, you need to show up for yourself. I'm encouraging every man to take the step. Get checked. Stay strong. Do it for the team. Do it for your family.
My daddy is a hero, and I want him around for a very long time. Daddy, if you care about me, please take care of your health.
I faced colon and prostate cancer head on, and I'm still standing. Early detection saved my life. If I can do it, so can you. Don't wait. Get tested. It's free, it's simple, and it will definitely save your life also.
Real men.
Real men.
Real men take charge.
Real men check up.
Need branded apparel that looks sharp and shows up on time? Welcome to Imprinted Designs, where every stitch counts. We specialize in custom embroidery and t-shirt printing for businesses, teams, events, you name it. From embroidered logos on polished Oxford shirts, available in a variety of colors for men and women, to bold, high-quality printed tees that turn heads, we do it all. Bring your own shirts or choose from ours. Small runs, big orders, rush jobs, no problem. At Imprinted Designs, we're built for speed, efficiency, and clean professional results delivered on time, every time. So if you want your brand to stand out, not wait around, come down to Imprinted Designs at the Valmore Plaza or hit us up at 451-2920 or email address imprinteddesignsSLU@gmail.com. Imprinted Designs, where every stitch counts.
I will never say never, but I can tell you why I have not joined the Labour Party. Two reasons. One, I believe the fact that I could have ran an election as an independent and win my seats and get the trust of the people to support me, and the fact that I've been able to accept an invitation by the Prime Minister of the country to say, come on, man, come on, let's work together and build this country. I thought that was an excellent sign of maturity in politics that has never happened in this country. To show that it doesn't matter if we share slight variations of our views, but we can work together.
That's right.
We cannot be opposing each other and fighting each other and cursing each other every day. And then we're speaking about violence in schools. We cannot be doing it all the time. We have to demonstrate that we can share variances in our opinions and our views, but there's common ground. And where there's common ground, we can work. And so, as I've said to people, the arrangement, the collaboration, some people call it the
collegiality.
Collegiality.
Yes.
It has worked. It has worked for the benefit of all, for the benefit of the country. And if down the road I believe, well, listen, maybe it no longer makes sense to be out there shouting the blue wave and all the rest of it, because you'd ask yourself, the blue wave, you just ask the question, who are the blue wave? What it stands for? Maybe somewhere down the road the blue wave may want to develop into a full-fledged political organization. I don't know. It is not my mission now. My mission is to work where there is comfort, to work where there is a sort of congruence of ideas, okay? and where the belief is similar.
Stevenson King answering the question why he has not joined the St. Lucia Labour Party. Let's see if we can take a final call. Once again, 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. And in just a moment, Amanda will have a final update and we'll have the NewsSpin question of the day as well as the NewsSpin news of the day. A call. Good afternoon. You are on the air. Hello.
Good afternoon, Timothy.
Yes, good afternoon to you, ma'am.
I'm so happy that I could be your final caller.
Go ahead.
Timothy, I called on one issue, but I just wanted to make a simple comment on the clip that you just played with Stevenson King. And I do want to say to St. Lucia that there is nothing mature about Stevenson King joining in the St. Lucia Labour Party, because I think I want St. Lucians to remind St. Lucians, those who did not know, is to tell St. Lucians that months before the general election of 2021, when we got information that Stevenson King had already purchased blue T-shirts while he was still sitting in the cabinet of Alan Chasney, and we were speaking to him and having discussions with him about that, and he denied it and said, no, that's not true. I support Alan. I have no issues. Months before, when we got information that his umbrellas had arrived out of certain countries, we had all that information, you know.
And you guys did, and you guys did nothing about that?
No, we went to the person in question and confronted him, and he lied to us. He said, no, that's not true. That's not the case. Imagine, Timothy, let's remind St. Lucia again, the day before nomination, Stevenson King was on national television sitting next to Alan Chasney on NTN.
That was a Sunday. That was a Sunday evening.
To Alan Chasney.
A Sunday evening.
The next day, he gave a letter to Alan Chasney, say, I'm not going to run for you. When did he write that letter? The morning? He had it all along because he shirts his umbrellas and everything. So this is an act of betrayal. This is not an act of maturity. This is an act of a man who continues to lie to get his way, not an act of maturity. I just wanted to say that, but that's not why I called him. Tim, I called because I want to say to you that we are entering into a new era of politics. And I am not going to justify anything by what I am saying, but I just want St. Lucians to be mindful that anything you can do, I can do better. And I'm saying that because, Timothy, you see the clip that you played? I have not seen one person from the St. Lucia Labour Party come out and apologize and say, oh, well, we did not know this lady was going to say that. The Prime Minister was there. The Deputy Prime Minister was there. The chairman of the party, who's Moses Musa Jabatis, who's responsible for elderly affairs, was there. Joachim Henry, who's responsible for the SSDF, was there. And nobody has come out and said that, oh, we apologize for this because this is a purely political statement being made on a government platform. But I'll tell you why they have not been able to say that, Timothy. Because again, and the caller who called you earlier, the gentleman who called, about Sean Edwards, I would say to the gentleman, take your evidence to the police. File a formal complaint, because we cannot continue to let people get away with things like that. Because one, if that is true, the man is doing something that is illegal. Putting a number plate that is not registered or that does not belong to a vehicle on a government vehicle, Timothy. But let me tell you how far the St. Lucia Labour Party continues to go. 2 days ago, and I've been trying to call you to tell you that, 2 days ago, I got calls from public servants, Timothy. Do you know what is Zimbra? Zimbra is the government's email account. It is a centralized email that is across all government units. And every single public servant who has a Zimbra email account. Okay, Timothy?
Yeah.
The St. Lucia Labour Party sent out a press release with reference to the incident involving Kakal Zavi. I'm sure you saw the press release all over social media.
Yeah.
What you did not know, Timothy, is that the St. Lucia Labour Party sent that press release to every single government worker across the Zimbra email. The government's email, the government of St. Lucia email, they sent that email with the SLP logo, the SLP letterhead, etc., to every single government employee via Zimbra. So when I say to you we are entering into a new era of politics in this country, the Labour Party continues, and it started long ago from 1997 when Kenny Anthony stood in Babono and made those statements, and the Labour Party has never stopped politicking. So let me tell you what transpired on yesterday with those government workers. While they are there tooting their horns, to date, not one of them knows exactly what the position is, Timothy, because no letter has been given to those employees. Letters were written and prepared and given to the supervisors of those employees. And subsequent to that, those employees will now be called to a meeting sometime next week to be told what their fate is. Because there are a few questions I also want to ask, and I'm hoping that the government will answer it next week. We don't know whether they will be made permanent effective immediately, or do they have to wait for the new budget cycle in 2026-2027, which starts in April next year? Because you would appreciate that the SSDF would not have budgeted for something like that. SSDF money comes from the government of St. Lucia, and there was no budgetary allocation for that permanent status or that increase in salary. And so at the end of the day, we are waiting to hear what their status is. But what I'm also being told is that, and the government also said it, I think Joachim said it, it is only for persons who were employed 2 years and more. So anybody who would have been in the program or within the program less than 2 years does not get to be a permanent employee. Additionally, any employee who's past the age of 45, because that's one of the regulations, I think, in the Public Service Act, that if you pass the age of 45, you cannot be permanently employed. So a lot of employees or persons within the caregivers program who are past that age still does not qualify or cannot qualify to become permanent employees as well. So all these little factors are in there, and that is why they've made a whole song and dance. Everybody's, and I'm happy for them, you know, Timothy. I, Nancy Charles, am very happy that if these employees are going to be made permanent, that they can get access to certain services, etc. I am very happy for them. But I want the government to be mindful that you are doing things in the interest of the employee. And what transpired there, Timothy told us that this was never in the interest of the employee. It was a song and dance to gain votes. It was a song and dance to say, I am solidifying your position, so make sure you vote for me. Because even the Prime Minister's speech, and it will come out very soon, was a song and dance to say to them, when you go to the polls, make sure you vote for us to ensure that you can keep your permanent employment. That is what transpired. That's why you cannot find the clip, you cannot find the tapes, you cannot find what transpired, because it was a political meeting. Next week, Timothy, we'll have more to say on that. But let me say thank you very much for giving me that opportunity.
Thank you so much, ma'am. You just heard there from Nancy Charles of the opposition. UWP, somebody says, Tim, that SSDF thing was indeed political. All these, if not 99.9% of these caregivers and supervisors are supporters of the Labour Party. What happens now with regard to the constituency council workers who are on contract, see, they will not take priority because they don't have direct contact with the community, especially one-on-one with the people. That ceremony showed exactly what it was. The Prime Minister giving favor to his supporters. Amanda, what's happening in the chat room? Final update from you.
Tim, a few comments via YouTube. It says, Tim, the ants and the bees have taught me how to live, so no one's complexion phases me. You're either good or bad. Humanity is lost because we love what we see in the mirror too much. A commentary says, do not wait to be elected, start now. Nobody wants to start and implement what will benefit the country unless they become a politician. Where were you, Marcellus, 6, 7, 8 years ago with your voice? A commentary says, why she did not speak about the program, the advantages of it, all the workshops they have attended, what skills they acquired. Commentary says, Tim, we need you to start selling NewsSpin merchandise, please and thanks.
That's coming up very soon.
Someone says, I recall, unfortunately, there will always be division. Politicians are encouraging it. NewsSpinner says, I value to you, but good afternoon, team. Please let Wasco know the people of Aso Canal, Grand Riviere, Grosile has no water. We can't bathe in the river. The water is polluted. Commenter says, some of our people are not concerned about bettering their lives and the lives of their families, hence the reason they're so blinded by color. Commenter says, I think the approach of beating Alva is to judge Alva as an individual based on his character and values or morals and not his party, because I would not vote for a man like Alva to represent me. A commentator says, Mr. Wayne, we do not love ourselves enough to love other people. We are destroying ourselves with the way we live and deal with each other. That's it from me, Tim.
Thank you so much, Amanda, for that final update. Let's turn our attention now to the NewsSpin question of the day. Why use a state-sponsored event to canvass for the St. Lucia Labour Party? Why use a state-sponsored event to canvass for the St. Lucia Labour Party? And finally, we have the NewsSpin news of the day. It reads, Trump gives Hamas Sunday deadline to accept Gaza peace plan. Once again, our NewsSpin news of the day, it reads, Trump gives Hamas Sunday deadline to accept Gaza peace plan. That's the broadcast for today and this week. Thank you so much for watching and listening to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show. Don't forget to like the video, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and click the notification bell to help the channel grow. My name is Timothy Poleon. Goodbye.